Hello, welcome to the orientation video on how to upload your images and complete the discussion board assignment in Introduction to Visual Arts. Hopefully by now you're familiar with how to navigate around in Canvas and using your modules. So I'm going to go right into the modules page in your course. It should all look fairly the same. When you have completed most of your assignments and you get down to your weekly module pertaining to the artist artwork opinion essay assignment, you'll see the README guide. When you click on that, it will lead you to this video showing you the instructions and any tips on how to do this. But I'm going to show you this format so that you will not receive a 0 score by failing to follow instructions. The first thing that you'll need to do is, of course, watch this video. But then after that, you can see this link on the instructions and how to properly complete this assignment. Make sure that you read the module section labeled Artist, Artwork, Opinion, Essay, Artist List. This list shows a number of contemporary artists that you can choose from. You can access it from in this link or the other links that are in this assignment, and then also in the discussions area that you can see right here. So I'm going to go back to the modules. I'm going to scroll back down to week 13. Again, it may be different for your course, but you'll see this discussion board. You'll need to view both of these items in order to complete this weekly module, but in this one you'll need to contribute. That is marking your artist. It's first come, first serve, and you can only reserve them through the discussion board. You cannot just email me. You have to do it through this discussion board. After you have reserved that artist, you'll see a notification by me or a change in the list, and I'll show you that in just a second. Then you'll have some time to work on your essay assignment. It's like a show and tell. You want to find that list of the artist, do a Google image search of their artwork. Then once you've selected that artist in this discussion board, you want to post that information here. So let's begin with the artist list. So you'll see again this long list of an artist and its artwork. So you can see this huge list right here. Again, only one student per artist. So what you could do is you could just copy and open up another tab and go to Google, and you could insert that name and the artwork, and you can look it up that way. Just make sure if you just go to images, that you actually want to make sure that that is the correct artwork. So let's say, for example, that this is the artwork. I've pulled it up. You want to make sure it's not pixelated. Now it's in its full form and beauty. I always like to click View Image, and then generally drag and drop that to the desktop. You want to make sure again that it is not pixelated. That way you know that that is the correct image. Do some background information learning about it, and then I want to hear your 2 cents about this piece. When you've got this list and after you've looked through all these artists, I want to select this artist. So you can go down to the bottom, and remember, you want to click subscribe if you have not reserved your artist yet, so you can see who's been taken and who's reserved. You'll also see this little link right here. This is the same information, just in a document. So you can reply down here, and you'd say, I'd like to present on, and you could say the number, which makes it a lot easier for me. You don't have to, but again, it's easier for me. Number 1, and that's Jackson Pollock. Number 1, Lavender Mist. And then once you hit post reply, you'll actually see this right here, and I will see the name of the student and that they have requested to have that reserved. I'll go ahead and reply, and I'll add that to the list, and you'll see that this artist will be marked out in red, and it'll have the name of the student right next to it. So that means that it is reserved. If it does not have a student's name next to it and marked in red, that means that it is available. Again, just remember, it's first come, first serve. You cannot get any points for a repeat post. So say, this student reserved Jackson Pollock, and then another student went ahead and they didn't put a request in this one for Jackson Pollock and they just posted it in that discussion board, they'll just get 0 points. But the original person that requested it, they will not have a hurt score. Their score will be fine as long as they did the assignment properly. So once you've made that request, you can go into the essay student responses, which again you can find in the modules. And this is where you can see where you're going to post your opinion essay. You want to use that checklist. You want to talk about all the formal elements. You want to talk briefly about what that artwork means to you, like your 2 cents, and then tell us what the artwork is actually about. Maybe it references another artist or another artwork or something else in time. Tell us that. Again, this is just you doing show and tell with that one artwork. Tell us maybe why you chose it. What inspired you. Again, only one artist per person. And you can also subscribe to this. You can see everybody's posts. And then when you see their comments, you can actually reply back, ask them questions, or tell us, why you think it's interesting and things like that. And you get points for it. So again, it's your personal response. And remember that you might see some of those contemporary artists listed in the final chapter of the book that we do not cover in the class. So make sure to check that out. Just to give you another example, you want to copy and paste this artist. This is Damien Hirst. A lot of students love his work. Again, the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living. And so you can see here this large tiger shark submerged in formaldehyde. Again, why did he do this? Is this art? These are some questions that you could pose or you could, bring to the attention of the class. Again, that's what you're going to present. Then you'll see any comments made by me or by your classmates. Again, once you have subscribed in that student response area. You got to make sure, though, that your student response goes in that correct area. If you do not post the response in the correct area, I cannot award you any points. So it needs to go in this section. Now, when you make your post, so let's say you had a Microsoft Word document, your essay is all typed up, you're ready to go. You could just copy and paste your information in here. Do your formatting and whatever. So let's just say, I'm going to borrow this text up here. And there's all this. What I would like you to do is at the very beginning, take your little cursor before all the text and hit return, put a little space in there. And then I want you to look at this little icon right here. It sort of looks like a little mountain and a sun. It says embed image. Sometimes you can get images over here. Again, if you've already uploaded it, I'm not sure exactly how it looks for a student, but it may. So I could upload a new image or upload one that I've previously uploaded. But what I want you to do is click in here, click this little icon. This is the best way of doing it. And then you can get the URL from the website, which I do not tell students to do unless they cannot get the content into the page. You can use a link through Canvas, you can use Flickr, but the reason why I say not to use the URL is because if a website changes, you don't know about it, your image will not pop up. And you need that image in there to obtain those points. So if that does not work first, you want to make sure, go over to here. This is another route. I usually use this one. You can click upload a new image. Again, this is within Canvas. You want to click browse. So upload a new image, click browse. I'll go to my desktop. There's the Pollock image. I'll click open, and then I'll click upload. Again, notice that there is a limit per image, and notice down here now, it has actually gotten in there, but I can't see the rest of it. So I'll show you a little tip. There's this little corner right here. You can slide down the text box, and so you can see it right there. Now let's say your image is even bigger than what it needs to be. So what you can actually do is you can take these little boxes in the corners. Make sure not the sides. It always needs to be a corner or else it will look distorted. And then you will slowly shrink it down. See how it's keeping its proportions? Again, now we see this nice image right here. Do not make these small, tiny images like that. I want to see them, nice and big like this. All right? Then you can hit post reply, and then you can see that actual post made by the student. Once you have done that, I guess I didn't hit save. Well, once you've done that in there and you've posted in, you'll see the image in that. You can make any comments about that student's artwork, and then you should see your assignment graded after the deadline. Just make sure to take note of that response. You could even insert links or other images of the artwork, multiple views, videos even, maybe people walking around the artwork if it's a three-dimensional sculpture, or if it's an interactive piece. Again, if you have any questions, just make sure to watch the video again, go over those instructions. If you have any issues, please contact me.